Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hope Rising. Today is Tuesday, October 9th, 2018. It's a gorgeous day here in Cumberland, Maryland. A day without rain. We've had so much rain this summer, the most rain since 1963, according to the news. So we're tickled to see some sunshine. I hope wherever you are, you're having a beautiful day too. Thank you again for joining us. We're so glad you share your time with us each Tuesday. Today we have a double header. We've never done this before, so it's going to be really exciting. We first are going to have Pastor Rob Pearson from the Davis Memorial United Methodist Church and Emmanuel. He does two churches. He's a busy man. And we also have Georgette Smith with us. She's the United Methodist Women leader at their church. That's great. Then the second part of the program today, we have two gentlemen from the Gideon's International. We're going to have Gary Dival-Bliss and Mr. John Murphy. So that's going to be exciting. You're going to want to stay tuned for the whole program. We're going to learn a lot. Get a hold of your friends because there's a lot of good things ahead. So now at this time, I'm going to introduce you all to Pastor Rob Pearson. Thank you so much for being with us today, Pastor.
For inviting us today.
We're so excited. So there are some really exciting things coming up at Davis Memorial. Tell us about this apple butter. How and why did Davis Memorial start making apple butter?
Wow. Well, I'm going to allow Georgette, since Georgette has been a lifetime member at Davis Memorial, and she can tell more of the history today.
The apple butter started back in 1900. I'm not sure. It's been almost 80 years plus that it's been going on. And it started out as a project to help pay for the new church.
Oh.
Then it became a community project where we invited all of our neighbors to come down and help. And that has gone on for all these years. And they are still doing it. We are blessed by that. And we have plenty of help.
So 80 plus years.
80 plus years.
That is an exciting thing. So, Georgette, if I can ask you this question, about how many people on average during your apple butter making season, how many volunteers do you think would come?
We have Wednesdays is usually anywhere from 30 plus, about 30, 35, and they're women snitting. And on Thursdays, it starts out slow in the morning, but by the afternoon, by the time we get the kettles on, there's probably at least 25 to 30 there. So, and they're different groups.
So sorry. Tell us what the word snitting. It's a German word, right?
I'm not sure. They just threw it at me the first time I went there, and I thought, I don't know what they're talking about. But actually, I found out what it is they have peelers that peel our apples on the outside.
Okay.
And they're brought in. They're then cut in half and quartered, and then they take the middle where the core was out, and that's considered the snitting. They take that out so they can be put on the table to be washed the next day to be put in the kettles, be grinded.
Okay. I like learning new words.
Yes.
So snitting. We've learned something new today. So I've heard that there's people from other states that take vacation.
Yes.
And they come back home to Cumberland to be
Yes.
part of this. Tell us about that, Georgette.
We have a gentleman, his family is from O-Town area, and he comes back in either the first or second weeks, and from Texas. And that's how he takes his vacation. He helps us for 2 weeks. And we've actually had a woman whose family went to our church, and her brother still helps. She was in Paris, came home for a vacation, did apple butter, and then no matter, for a couple of years, when she was on the East Coast, no matter what state, she'd come back and help for a day or two.
Isn't that remarkable?
A lot of loyal people.
That is such a beautiful
It's
thing.
like a family gathering.
It is, like kind of a homecoming then, right?
It is, really.
That's a wonderful thing. So the process happens for Wednesday and Thursday for like 3 weeks in a row?
Yes. It used to be 5, but we've cut it down to 3 because it's
a lot of work.
Yes. So it's 2 days.
Do you all have any guesstimate of like how many quarts or pints? Do you have a figure about how much apple butter you're making?
The last
gallons?
2 weeks, the kettles have developed 154 gallons a week. So when we did the 5 weeks, we did 1,100 gallons we sold. So this week should be anywhere from 800 to 900 for the season.
Oh my goodness, isn't that something?
It is.
A lot of wonderful helpers.
Very,
That's
very
incredible.
All ages.
So tell us, Pastor Rob, maybe you'll know this. So where are people going to bring their jars? So there's something about you can bring jars
Sure.
or buy.
So we give a discount off the per jar price if you bring your jars back, and we actually sanitize them and wash them and then use them again. We repackage them so they come back to you, so they're your jars. We put new lids and new seals on top, and it can save you some money if you bring a lot of jars.
That's great. Yeah. So they are sealed, then the jars are sealed in the process. So how long can you keep? Should you not go through them quickly? Like I know at my house, we're going to go through them quickly. But how long will they keep?
I've had people tell me they've had it for a year or two. They say the top turns a little dark, just take that off. But the apple butter is still good because of the cooking process that goes through.
That's incredible. Now, where can people come and pick up the apple butter, drop off the jars? Can you all give us insight on that?
Sure, I'll actually give you the actual address. It's 14300 Ewell Highway. It's Davis Memorial United Methodist Church. As you pull in the parking lot, you'll see us in the back. We have a separate building where all the preparation happens and where the cooking takes event. And we'd love to have anybody come out and spend an hour or two, spend the whole day if you want. We feed you breakfast, we'll feed you lunch. There's a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, and we could always use extra help.
That's awesome. So there's people from other churches that come and help too, right? So a sense of community there.
Our Catholic brothers and sisters, different denominations, Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostals, folks from Old Town, folks from the North End, the West End, as well as folks who come from out of state.
Yes. Some come from out of state.
And what time Wednesday did you say that you start on Wednesdays?
Well, they may not want to hear how early we get started. The fellows, when they're peeling the apples, we'll start about 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, early birdies.
Yes, and it takes a number of hours to go through all the bushels of apples. Somewhere around 50, 60 bushels of apples get peeled. Wow. And then the ladies are inside the building and they're doing the snitting of the apples. Both days we start around, if you come at 6 or 7, we're happy to have you.
That's great. And about how long in the afternoon do you go on Wednesdays?
Wednesdays, they're usually done by about 2:30.
Okay.
Because that's the cleanup. But Thursdays, it depends on what time the kettle goes off, how your weather was, how, there's so many. But usually the last 2 weeks we've been off the kettles by 3:30.
Okay.
And then they're packing it, and the women are packing it inside. It's taken in, they put it in the jars hot, seal them, they seal, you can hear this pop, pop, pop as they're sealing. And then the cleanup process is done. And usually by 5 they're out of there.
About 5. So what time on Thursdays do folks come?
5 in the morning.
5
in the morning.
Each day then?
We like to have the first pot on by 5:30.
That's great. I bet the smell is just
my
heavenly.
It's like liquid gold.
Oh, yes. So. Delicious. That's great. Now, if y'all can tell me, and our guests at home, what will you do with the profits that you made? What local charities, I know you sow back into the community, so what local charities will these profits go back to?
Whether we do Toys for Happiness, we support this Union Rescue Mission.
Very good.
Usually, if there's a need in the community, we do food baskets at Christmas, Thanksgiving, and we decided to do Easter because people still eat at Easter.
Yes.
And you find that a lot will do Thanksgiving and Christmas, but we also do Easter. And then if there's a need that we know, if someone, say, has cancer, has to travel up and down the road, we will go and get a gift card for gas that they can, that way they don't have to worry about that. And so we try to find the needs of the community and how we can give back that way. If we don't give, just one person a lot, we spread it out among so that we can share as much as we can through the community.
That's such a...
Because we felt, we're being helped by them.
That's so wonderful. It is. It's a give and a receive, isn't it? It's just flow. That's beautiful. So the students that go to your church, they have an opportunity to fill out application for scholarship. Is that right?
Yes.
Student, service hours as well. Now, we don't want them skipping school, but if they're off for any reason or they want to come in the afternoon, we're happy to have them with us, and they enjoy, and I think they look forward to it also.
They do.
How many scholarships this past year were you able to give out after you made the profit?
Actually, you have to be a member of the church, so there's only been about 1 or 2 that's actual members, and usually some of them wait till the second semester because the first semester they might have covered. So, it depends on the age of the students and all, so.
That's a wonderful thing that students that attend your church will have the opportunity to continue their education and know that they're going to have their books maybe, help with their books or different things at school.
Yes.
That's a really great thing. Now, I am down to one last question here. So, Pastor Rob, you are a busy man with 2 churches. You have Davis
Most days, yes, ma'am.
and Emmanuel. So, not only is Davis having these wonderful apple butter, so at Emmanuel, your other church, you've got a spaghetti dinner coming up this week, don't you?
We do this week, and so I'll give a plug for Emmanuel. We have our spaghetti dinner this Thursday at 4 o'clock. You can have carry out or sit in and eat all you want. It's salad, dessert, and spaghetti. But Davis also, besides making the wonderful apple butter, we do a monthly breakfast on the second Saturday of the month. We start at 7 a.m. We would love you to come out and have a good old-fashioned breakfast with us. It's a contribution. We also will be making candy at the end of this month. Hardtack candy, cinnamon.
Oh, the flavors vary.
All the flavors each year.
Usually it goes root beer, your usual candy flavors. I think they make 10 to 12 different candy flavors.
And you can buy it by the pound. And of course we put it in a jar to make it last and present it this way. But we do lots of wonderful things at Davis. We would love to have you come out and spend some time with us, get to know us, and what a great entry point by coming to a fun event like apple butter or breakfast on a Saturday morning.
Those breakfasts are good. My husband and I have come to your breakfast. They're delicious. And I've tasted your apple butter last year, and I will be buying more this year. It is so good. I probably eat bagels 3 days a week, and this will be on top of my bagels for sure in the future.
And they make great Christmas gifts that are coming up.
Yeah. What a good idea. We're just 2 months out now from Christmas, aren't we? That's awesome.
Coming soon.
Pastor Rob, Georgette, thank you both for sharing your time with us.
And
the viewers getting to hear about the wonderful apple butter making, pancakes, spaghetti, things that can bring the community together. It's a wonderful thing to have a sense of community.
It is.
And like you had said, people from any denomination joining hands and hearts together. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Thank you. And Donna, thank you for hosting us and for having an avenue that folks can share all the good things that are happening in Cumberland, because there's lots of good things that are going on in Cumberland.
Thank you, Pastor
You're
Rob.
welcome.
That's great. So at this time, we're going to say goodbye to Pastor Rob and Georgette, and we're going to have some more guests coming on. Thank you all so much. So next week, we're going to have another guest speaker coming that you're going to want to stay tuned next Tuesday. There's a new business getting ready to come open in LaVale, and you've probably seen the signs out front for Holy Grounds Coffee and Bagel Shop. Now, bagels are something near to my heart, so I'm going to be visiting at Paulette Porter's Holy Grounds. It's going to be really fun to have Paulette here and talk about her being a businesswoman and the good things that's coming up with Holy Grounds. So that's next week, next Tuesday, so make sure you put that on your calendar. So we're really excited today. Like I said earlier in the program, we have a double header today. We had Pastor Rob and Georgette from Davis. And next up, we're going to have 2 gentlemen that are from Gideon's. You've probably heard about Gideon's. Anytime you go to a hotel, you pull out that drawer and check if there's a Gideon Bible in there. So you probably wondered, who are Gideons and where do these Bibles come from? The Gideon people, they've been around for a very long time. They do a lot of really good work. And we're really excited to get to talk to them in just a moment here. Besides the Gideons, locally, there's Gideons internationally. There's in over 200 countries, there's Gideons, if you can imagine. They have Bibles that go into 100 languages. So let me give you a couple little facts about Gideons here. On the average, more than 2 copies of Bibles are distributed per second through Gideon's International. Isn't that just remarkable? Every second, 2 Bibles. Like I said a moment ago, Bibles are distributed in 200 plus countries. 2 billion, with a B, 2 billion Bibles have been distributed at the Gideon's hands from 1908 till 2015. Can you imagine 2 billion Bibles? These folks have a heart for God. They have a heart to share the gospel message around the world. So this time, we're going to introduce to you folks, we have Gary Davlebliss and John Murphy that are with us today. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming to Hope Rising.
Thank you for having us.
We're really excited to hear more about the Gideons. So, first of all, would one of you like to tell us the story of how the Gideons got started?
I think I'll handle that.
Great, John.
Two gentlemen met while they were on business traveling,
Okay.
and one was named Sam Hill, and the other was John Nicholson. And they got together to share with each other what to do when they're traveling like this.
Okay.
And so they needed something to read, so they decided to pick up a Bible and read the Bible. And from that was the beginning of the Gideons.
About that. So it was Sam Hill, and what was the other gentleman's name?
And John Nicholson.
John Nicholson. Great. All righty. So, Gary, maybe I can ask you this. What is the purpose of the Gideons?
The purpose of the Gideons is to get the Scripture in the hands of the lost. We work in brotherhood with the local churches and getting Scripture out to the lost. And we have locations in many foreign countries, Gideon's camps in many foreign countries where they distribute Scripture to the lost. So our focus is winning the lost to Christ, as should be the focus of the churches.
Right, absolutely. So, can you gentlemen tell us the Gideon symbol that Ryan has up here on the screen for us? Can you tell us about the symbol or the logo, what it represents, and can you also tell us about why Gideons are called camps?
Okay. I'll take the part about the symbol. The white picture with the flame in it is significant of the battle against the Midianites, which is listed in Judges 7. It's symbolic of the victory over the Midianites by the Lord.
Okay, that's great. And then you were telling me something about the white color.
The white color is also symbolic of the purity of Christ, and the circle outer ring across it is symbolic of the unbroken brotherhood of the Gideons.
I love that.
Yeah.
We should be a brotherhood, right?
Yes.
And a family of Christ. Yes. Okay, then. So, John, if you want to take the other part of the question of why are Gideon groups called camps?
Well, I believe it all started with Gideon himself in the Bible, in the Old Testament. And so we here in Allegheny are the Allegheny camp. Okay. And the other parts of Maryland would also be divided up into counties according to the name of the camp.
So a camp would be a local group of gentlemen that their purpose is to share the gospel message through the Bible.
And they also have the auxiliary, which is consisted of the women. The women, an auxiliary is formed by the wives of Gideons, and they also have what's called Friends of Gideons. Okay. That's someone who can't be a member, but wants to support the Gideons. Maybe if it's a woman that doesn't have a husband in the Gideons, that still wants to be support, or any church person doesn't want to be a member, or any person that doesn't want to be a member can still help with Gideons. They'd be called Friend of Gideons.
Oh, that's nice. Alrighty, so locally, about how many Bibles were given out this past year, and where were they given out?
Well, we gave out over 1,000 Bibles, and we gave out 700 at the county fair.
Great.
And then we distributed Bibles at the Bible schools at each one of the churches. They'll invite us in to hand out scriptures to the young people that come into the Bible school.
Oh, how great.
And then, like down at the Canal Park, they gave out satchels for the kids. Well, we were down there handing out Bibles and Testaments at the same time.
That is a wonderful opportunity right there.
Yes, yes.
And I think there was, I'm not sure the number, John, but was it 100 or 150 that were given to Western Maryland Health Systems this past year?
Would that be for pastoral care to give out to patients?
Right.
Yes.
We give them to the chaplain, and the chaplain distributes them.
That's great. I think I remember hearing about that, and they were the larger print for people to see better, right? That was wonderful. Alrighty, so either one of you, whoever liked this question, how can people get signed up to be a Gideon?
Usually you're approached by a member already. You have to fill out an application, and there is that the fee to become member. But then you have to be approved. Your pastor, the pastor of your church, has to sign the form. Has to sign this form also. It goes to the Gideon central office, and then it comes back to the pastor. Is my understanding, John? And the pastor has to sign off that you are a person of honor. That, and then you also have to be a professional person of some, either a businessman or a professional layman of some sort.
Okay. All right. So when and where do you all meet?
Well, we meet at the present time at the Cornerstone Baptist Church, but that's just a place for us to have a room that we can meet in and conduct the business of the Gideons. We could meet any church or other suitable place that we decide to meet.
That's so nice that Cornerstone gives a room so y'all can meet. And then, so when do you all meet?
We meet on the
Fourth Tuesday.
Fourth Tuesday. Okay.
Tuesday of every month.
All right. And what time do you all meet?
6:30.
Yes.
6:30. Okay, that's great. That's very good to know then. All righty. So I've got a couple more questions, guys, and then you can be off the hook. All righty. So do the Gideons give presentation at churches, clubs, and other organizations?
Yes. That's the way we raise money to buy the Bibles with.
Okay.
We'll give a presentation at the churches, and then they take up a love offering and present to the Gideons and to purchase Bibles.
All right. That was one of my questions of how do you all raise monies for the Bible? So it's through these speaking engagements then?
Yes.
And also we have a system of cards that people can purchase. There's different cards that people can purchase, and in that you can specify how many Bibles you would like to purchase at like $5 a piece, I think it is, for the full Bibles.
Okay.
And so that's called a Gideon card, and we put these cards in churches in racks. We have a Gideon card rack, which we will display in a church if they want us to. And none of the money raised goes to the Gideons. All the money we raise goes directly to purchasing Scripture for different needs. If I believe I'm correct on that, John.
Yes.
All the money does go. All the money we raise goes. The Gideons are run by what the members provide through the camp funds. But none of our faith fund money or money that's given for Bibles goes to the Gideons. It's all used appropriately.
All righty. So is there annual dinner, a Gideon dinner, where people can go and hear more about Gideons?
Yes, we have a annual membership dinner once a year. It's usually in June.
Okay.
And we'll invite any young men or men that want to come in to the organization and become a Gideon. And it gives us the opportunity to let them know what we would expect out of them being a Gideon.
Right, and when you said in June, and will people just watch the newspaper to find out when that is, or just?
Well, we usually know the ones that are going to be there, and we've already talked to them ahead of time, and they have agreed to come to the dinner to find out more about the Gideons.
That's great. So, Gary, you had a couple samples of Bibles with you today, and can you talk about, there's different colors of Bibles, is that right?
Yes. There's the blue, which we normally hand out. This is normally what we consider the woman's Bible.
Okay.
We have a brown, the same thing, a brown scripture, which is usually given to the men. It's the same Bible. It's the English Standard Version of the Bible. And we have the white one, which was normally given to healthcare workers. And then we have one that's a multiple, like I would say an orange. That's given to the younger teenagers, and they also have what's called the Life Book now, which is given out to teenagers and school age to give to their peers. And in it, there's footnotes written by other teenagers that have read that particular scripture presentation. And it's a little white booklet, which has been pretty successful from what I understand in the schools.
That's nice that other students have written little notes right in there to be helpful.
Correct.
That's very good. So if when you hand out the children's Bibles, you said it's for vacation Bible schools and different things like this, right? Do you all have an email or a website address somehow or a phone number where people, if they're interested, having you come speak or contact, is there something you all could share as far as phone number or something?
We don't at this time have a email or a website that I'm aware of, but anybody that would be interested in having a speaker come into church could certainly contact me. I will speak for myself, let John speak for him, and my number is 301-729-3447, and my name again is Gary Divalbliss.
Okay, so that was 301-729...
3447.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Gary. So, all right. Well, is there, by chance, do you have a Facebook page or not quite yet?
Now.
Okay, that's right. Well, at this point, people can get a hold of you by just calling your phone number then, right, Gary? That's great. You guys, thank you so much for sharing with us. It's so interesting to find out more about Gideons. So, gentlemen that would be interested, 21 years in age and up, is that correct? They're supposed to be at least 21. I think I read that. Is that about right?
Yes, that would be appropriate.
Okay, that's great. So any new members, they can call you, Gary, and talk about coming to the fourth Tuesday of the month, 6:30 at Cornerstone is where you're meeting presently. That's great.
And just to add that anybody that would be interested could come to our meeting on the fourth Tuesday, even before the dinner. If they're interested, they could come to that meeting and learn what we do and how our approach, and it may pique their interest in becoming a Gideon, because as Christians, we should all be interested in getting the Scripture out to the unsaved.
That's right. So I just want to run all those figures one more time. About 2 billion Bibles have been distributed from 1908 to 2015. You can be part of that, handing out Bibles. The Bible, we have a Bible verse that we're going to pull up here on the screen in just a moment. The Bible compels us to share the gospel message. That's part of our duty, part of our love to get to do this as part of being a Christian. The Bible, like I was saying earlier, Bibles are distributed by Gideons in over 200 countries, and on average, more than 2 copies of the Bible are distributed per second through the Gideons. So here's the Bible verse that we want to share today, and it's from Mark 16:15. He said to them, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." That's our command. That's not only a command, but something we want to do, is share the gospel message and let people know the love of Jesus that he has for every person. So, gentlemen, again, thank you so much for letting us know more about Gideons. It is our honor to get to meet you folks. My husband travels a lot on business, and one of the first things he does when he goes into a hotel room, he pulls open that drawer and he wants to see if a Gideon Bible is in there. And when he leaves the Bible open to a scripture verse, and he always leaves, for the maids that come in and take care of the beds, he leaves a blessing of a little tip, and he leaves it there at that Bible. So that's a little something my husband loves to do, but we appreciate what you all do as Gideons. God bless you. If you want to get in touch with the Gideons, get a hold of Gary, 301-729
3447.
3447. There you go. That's Gary Divalbliss. Don't forget to join us next Tuesday. We're going to have Paulette Porter from Holy Grounds Coffee and Bagel Shop opening soon in LaVale. God bless you. Join us again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you. It was great to have you, gentlemen. Thank you.